welcome back to News Talk. We're continuing our conversation with Chief Cathy Lanier. You can join the discussion by calling us, ask the chief whatever you want. 703-387-1020. I know Bruce is off today, but I promise I don't bite. Go ahead.
I usually have a lot of calls.
I know.
Are they Bruce's friends that usually call in?
It might be. I think we've discovered a secret. No, I think that they're afraid of me, and I swear, I'm much nicer than Bruce. 703-387-1020. He's going to kick me for that. Okay, let's go to a story that was in the news recently, and this has to do with a citizen who was on a bike who came across a crime scene and began taping it on his cell phone. And I think we have some video of this. Do we have video of this?
Oh, everybody has this video.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Basically, the officer on tape, because I just watched it, tells him that he has to basically cease and desist. He can't videotape him. The guy saying, "Hey, I'm just Joe Schmo. I'm standing here at this public sidewalk." The officer's asking to take his license. You've seen the video. What did it? One of those things where you're just like, ugh.
Well, since you're a street reporter, and I see you on the street on crime scenes all over the place. I mean, everything from police shootings to, really high-profile crimes. Our policies are to try and accommodate the press. And in terms of video, we have a very strong policy. About a person's right to video on public space and videotape police officers' actions, and it's just shocking that everybody is aware of the policy and understands what public space is, and everybody videotapes everybody anymore. And this officer just
didn't get it.
Didn't get it. He just didn't get it. No, when I saw the video, it was.
Yeah, you take that deep breath and say, call that one in. So what happened? Can you talk about what happened?
We have policies that are in place. They have to, initiate some investigation based on a policy violation. It's not going to be a very complicated investigation because it's all on video. And then, there'll have to be some response for violation of policy. But the officer hadn't been out, I think he came on in 2012, so he hasn't been on very long. He should know all the policies really, really well.
Right, he just went through all of that. Well, I'm sure others are learning. It's a learning moment. It's a teaching moment.
It's a learning moment, yes.
Yeah. Okay, we have our first phone call. Is this Sheree out of Southeast? You there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, how are you? Ask the chief. Fire away.
I'm wonderful, thank you. My question is to the chief. What are you doing about the retired police officers? You have multiple people retiring from the police station now. What is your plan for recruiting officers?
Well, what my plan was 5 years ago when I started asking for the council to understand that this retirement bubble was coming was a combination of increased hiring authority and civilian personnel, a civilianization plan, so that we could build up in anticipation of this.
Because it does seem like it's popping. I mean, it just everywhere you turn, somebody else is retiring.
But we knew this was coming. I mean, we knew this was coming. We had a mass hire in '89 and '90, and all of those people now, starting this year, are becoming eligible for that retirement. They're of age and they've met their 25 years. So it was predictable. It's not a surprise.
Right.
And while we're just, really believed it would start last year. It didn't really hit hard last year, but now we're seeing a tremendous jump. So I've asked the City Council to look at legislation for just the command staff alone, inordinate number. I mean, like 30 of my command staff members in the next 2 years. All the assistant chiefs, most of the commanders. So asked for some legislation to be introduced to give me a broader appointment authority for lieutenants and captains, to give me a bigger pool to choose from. That's sitting in the committee right now with Wells. And we've asked to allow us to get some of the funding back for civilian positions, because right now my best opportunity is to hire civilians, because they don't have to go through a police academy. Right. So over the last 8 years, I've lost, as civilian positions were frozen, I've lost over 220 civilians employees.
And who's filling that office?
And guess who fills those spots? So civilian employees would help me to quickly push officers back on the street. So other than that, unless I get those things that I've asked for, I'm going to have to just do the best I can. I can't hire more than 300 a year.
Oh,
and
really?
that retirement bubble,
that?
We're hiring 300 a year. That's the the max capacity to safely hire.
In terms of training them adequately?
In terms of good quality candidates, because it takes a while to do background checks and polygraphs and bring in the right people. And then they have to go through the police academy. So it's about an 18-month lead time to replace an officer start to finish. So we're going to continue to hire, but it's going to be challenging. The next 5 years are going to be challenging for the city.
Do you need money?
I need bodies.
She's like, I need bodies.
I need bodies.
I'm going to say, we can ask City Council right now.
Of course, bodies are money, but I think the best option right now is start with a civilianization plan to push experienced officers out quickly to meet the retirement that's going on right now. And then, actually start, even if they add hiring authority for extra police officers now, to go above 300 is, and that's right now just meeting attrition.
Okay.
It's going to be tough.
Well, and you know that this is going to be the thing that you're going to hear people crying about. If they start to not see police officers on their street where they used to see them, yeah, you better get ready for them phone calls. Yep. All right, we have another phone call, speaking of which. Catherine from Northeast, what's your question? Good morning.
Good morning, Chief. How are you?
Good morning, Catherine.
Good.
I spoke to you when you was on TV before.
Okay.
And I have a comment about my great Commander Cathy.
Yes.
And he is the best commander. And we have a lot of police out here. When I go to the PSA meet, people are complaining, but I can't complain because they got me to the hospital. They come and check on me, and they are wonderful because I had a problem last month with someone airborne in my house. At 2 o'clock in the morning, the detective and the police was right here.
Oh, that's great.
That's great, Catherine.
Also, Chief, I admire you, the work you were doing. And also, I was in my yard yesterday. One of the little guys on the little motorcycle, one of the little pedaling wheels, he came by. Also, I'm concerned about the crossing at Deanwood, the overpass at Douglas and Kenilworth. We need to put the camera back up. That's where y'all need a camera. I just want some money. Come on out on Kenilworth Avenue. Because it's dangerous at Douglas Street. The people are going to the aquatic garden. People are going to the church. And I cross an old lady, 81 years old. I go out there and I monitor. And I'm afraid. I'm paranoid now because they came in my yard. Chief, God bless you. Take care of your guys, and I love my commander.
Thank you, Karen. I'm sure Cathy appreciates that as well. So the crosswalk over Kenilworth Avenue, isn't that where we had a situation, I don't know, earlier this year where we had a guy that was sexually assaulting women, but you caught him.
We did.
Do we have a camera there?
What she's talking about a speed camera.
Ah, okay.
She's talking about a speed camera. She's saying the ATVs and the dirt bikes are an issue over there, which I know it's been an issue around the city. But her concern is just trying to get, some cameras there to catch some of these speeders. And most of those ATVs and dirt bikes are unregistered. Well, they're all unregistered. You can't legally register them. So there's no identifiable information on them. We have other strategies we're using to go after them. No, Catherine, thank you very much. I will share with Commander Cathy that you're very happy with the service there in 60.
Yeah, absolutely. Now,
that was a sweet call.
That was a very nice call. Nice. In terms of a speed camera, you're the chief of police. What's the reality of you saying, hey, we need a speed camera here? Is it that easy?
It's not, and I have to put resources, I have to kind of use the resources I have efficiently. So we take every request that we get from a community member, and then once we get that request, there's an evaluation of that area. So if it's an area, we look at crash data. So if there's been crashes with injuries there, that's definitely going to bump it up on the list.
Sure.
But we also monitor speed in the area for a little while to see if people are in compliance with the speed limits there. But if there is a school or pedestrians or a senior home sometimes. If you look at, I know I saw it myself along Benning Road, there's a senior home, and the crosswalk, there's all kinds of lights and stuff for the crosswalk, and the seniors are trying to get across the street, and people speeding on that long straightaway, the seniors only can move so fast. So those are one of the areas where, you're looking at potential for there to be fatal collisions or pedestrian collisions, accident data, and then speed data, and that's what would decide whether we put a camera somewhere.
Sometimes it amazes me because you'll recall on Florida Avenue where we had one woman hit and another woman hit and then we had a woman killed.
Well, let me tell you, this is one of the things that I've been arguing with people about. I worked in the traffic fatality unit for 2 years, and for pedestrians, people who fail to come to a complete stop. And everybody likes to think that, a little rolling stop is okay and a rolling right turn on red, and, I slowed down. Those right turn on red is one of the most dangerous potential collisions for pedestrians, because if you think about it, if you come to a red light and the right turn on red is allowed, and if you don't come to a complete stop and you kind of roll through that right turn on red, you're going to look left to see that there's no traffic coming. The pedestrian now that's walking across the crosswalk on your right side, because they have a green cross light, you'll never see them because as you're looking this way to make sure nobody's coming and you turn, they're typically in a blind spot and they get hit. I've seen more fatal crashes from right turn on red with pedestrians. So that's why people get so frustrated. They're like, well, it's not like I blew the red light. I just kind of rolled through it. Well, rolling through a red light can be deadly.
Well, and you know what? Driving through the city nowadays is a whole different experience even than, say, 5 years ago. It's like being in New York City. I mean, we have more people walking and on bikes, which we'll talk about bikes in just a second, because I'm one of those people. I'm like, don't they have to obey the law just like we do? Okay, I'm going to get her answered in just a second. We're going to be right back with a check of today's top stories and the forecast. We're also going to be taking your phone calls. Write this number down, 703-387-1020. We'll be here. The chief will be here, and she'll answer all your questions. She's in the hot seat. She's here. She's ready. We'll be right back. Stay with us.